This is it. Today's the day. We're heading to Universal to try VooDoo Donuts finally, and to hopefully ride Fast and Furious Supercharged. Let the good times roll. My God, it's so beautiful. My God, it's happening. Big man. There.
Welcome to Race Day at the Garage. This is Taz coming to you from the War Room, and the last race is underway, and the one and only Dom Toretto is racing to the finish line. But don't worry, we got you covered. We just minutes away from taking everybody over to the after party at Sullivan's Garage. But you know if we do it, we gotta do it in style. So enjoy the cars, enjoy the music. I'll be right back at you.
Yeah, there we go. I like it. There we go. The rest of you need to work on your energy. You're going out to this party. It's going to be great, a good time. Filling all this space. We got some more party goers coming in, filling all this space for me. Everywhere. There we go. Beautiful.
Everybody, I'm Mia, Dom's sister. Well, another race just wrapped, and it looks like my brother won another car for his collection. Honestly, I don't know why anybody challenges him.
Me either.
Well, we're meeting up at Sullivan's Garage for the after party, and while Tej works on your rides, you guys enjoy the break room. My brother calls this the family room. Dom says he doesn't have friends, he has family.
Oh.
And the faces you see on these walls are our family.
It's the family.
When I'm in this room, I feel like we're all together again.
Me too.
So, welcome to our family.
Oh, for real? You guys are part of the family now. All right. Speaking of family, Taz, you up on the breaking monster with Mia.
All right. What's up, Mia?
Hey, Tej, just welcoming these good people to our family. How are their rides coming along?
The rides are ready to roll out, and roll out in style.
All right. I'll let Dom know. You guys have fun at the party.
Bye, Mia.
Yeah, bye, Mia.
All right, Pat.
What's up?
Let's get these people on their way. Send them over to the War Room.
You got it, boss. Peace.
Peace.
All right, y'all. Now you gotta take care of Jamie for me, all right? It's Jamie's first day working by themselves. Usually they're with Tej all day, but it's her first time, all right? Can you guys promise to take care of Jamie for me? Woo! Yeah, there we go. I appreciate it, guys. Have fun at that party. I want to see some Snapchat videos. I want to see it all going down. You're part of the family now, so we're just gonna be kicking it back here, all right? Have a good time at that party.
Magic Tej, not me. I'm just the assistant. He's just having me watch all the stuff while he finishes up your rides. All this expensive stuff, and not expensive. So if anything goes wrong, I don't want him to fire me, so I'll just have him fire you guys because you look like you know a lot about technology. So He'll just yell at you, but not me. Because he's calling right now. He's gonna yell at you. Hey, Ted.
Jamie, the buses are here.
Great. We're gonna get these people on their way, like right now. Oh, Dom, you can actually
Dom,
answer it. Okay.
what up?
Okay.
Tej, just got a heads up from Hobbs. The FBI is about to raid their location.
FBI, what?
Man, they always ruining our fun.
Where? I don't know.
It gets worse. They're leading Owen Shaw right to your door.
Shaw, that cockroach we beat down in Spain? What's he got to do with this?
Nothing yet. And let's keep it that way. Get those people on those buses. You need to start bugging out right now. And get that turbo truck ready.
I'm on it.
Hobbs needs our help. He needs our team. Spread the word. But keep it in our family. And keep it quiet.
Okay, he said it, not me. Keep it quiet, guys. Oh, Hobbs going. I can actually
It's
answer.
Hobbs.
I know, I'm the
Hobbs,
assistant.
my
I
man.
can answer the phone
What
call.
up?
I can take...
Sorry, Brother Tej, no time for chit-chat. I just sent you a brief on FBI agent Novak. Has Toretto filled you in?
Yeah. He wants us to get everybody over to the party at Sullivan.
He is a ready-made diversion. Keep it going. We need to discuss how you're going to get all those civilians out of there without tipping off the FBI.
I don't...
Oh, shut off your cell phones. We don't want Shaw tracking your locations.
Okay, Jamie, you heard the man. It's about to go to a whole nother level. Send everybody to the loading dock.
You didn't talk about this week. Okay. Okay, these ones will take you guys to the loading docks. I know everything just got a whole lot more exciting, but don't worry, I'm gonna sit here where it's safe. And I'm gonna monitor it for you guys. Bye, good luck, be safe. Turn off your cell phone, Shaw can't track you. I believe in you guys.
Finally, we don't want to tip off shop, so refrain from using all cameras, phones, tablets, and external lights of any kind once we leave the loading docks. Good luck out there, and be cool.
Kayla!
Tem nem que giro. É um ônibus.
Inside the party bus at all times. Don't make me turn this bus around. Also, all partygoers must have their own seat, including young children. And be sure.
Before we start both of these reviews real quick, I just want to say sorry in advance because I don't have the microphone on me and I'm using my phone. So if you can barely hear and you have to turn it up, I apologize in advance. Okay, here we go. Ready, go. So talk about an awkward jump, right? So this is the next day. Didn't really have a whole lot of time to kind of give my thoughts on Fast and Furious. So here it is, weird insert. I'm actually on my way to go to work and do a detail right now. But I figured I'd give you my thoughts on it real quick before I go do that. So we got to ride it twice. We waited in line, we waited in the child swap area so that I could ride it and then Geraldine could ride it afterwards. So I get on the ride, everything is fine and smooth and goes through, and then we enter the main scene area, main ride area in the dome. Spoiler alert, if you've ridden Kong, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We get in there and nothing happens. We hear the generic background noise that they have as the vehicles load in, and nothing happens. We literally sit in there the entire time that you would for if the ride was working, and then we just started going forward and we were told to get off. And there was a lot of people that were pretty pissed off from it because we weren't even given the option to go on again, because even though it was technical rehearsal, the ride never happened. So we were told to get off. A lot of people complained, and they're like, okay, we'll let you go on a re-ride. So we walked through the child swap area, waited in line through that little tiny room, and we got to re-ride again. It was annoying because they didn't have even numbers of vehicles on the track. So normally they do 2. I believe that the way it works is there's enough for 6 vehicles to be actually in the ride at once, and then 2 loading or unloading. So that gives enough between 8 to 10 vehicles can be on the system at any time. But it was an odd number. There was only like 7 vehicles. So we had to wait because we were in the second train, so we had to wait even longer to get on the ride again through the child swap area in a single file line. It was just very annoying. So rather than just let us stay on the vehicle and just go through again, how they made us get off and do all of that craziness. So we get on again. Everything works smoothly this time until we get to the dome room again. We get to the dome room and everything, the whole sequence started. The tram started moving a little bit and 1 or 2 effects happened. It lasted all of about 7 seconds. Everything went dark. It was as if somebody literally just tripped over the power cord to the projectors because the effects were still working. The speakers for the key action sounds were still happening in complete silence. So it was just like all of a sudden you'd hear The Rock shouting from one side, then you'd hear Dom shouting from the other, then you'd hear a helicopter fly over out of nowhere, and then effects were blasting in your face and everything, but the tram wasn't moving or anything either. It was just the effects going. So I don't know what happened. I get that it was a technical rehearsal, but literally the main part of the ride wasn't working pretty much at all. So it was kind of annoying. And what was annoying about it is they kept letting other trams go through, and they never had any issues, but it was just the tram that me and my group of 20 or 30 people were on that kept jacking up, and we never got to experience it. So from the little bit that I saw, my thoughts on it are, it's worse than Kong. It's shorter. There's almost no point in even having the practical sets that they have. I don't even know why they're really there. I don't know. It's just a very boring ride. Kong is okay, I think. It's okay. It's not great. It's not mind-blowing. I mean, but I would rather wait in line for 20 minutes to ride Kong than I ever would for this ride. It's incredibly short. Even like the action sequence that happens in the dome is shorter than what happens in Kong. And I don't know why. And both times that I got on the ride, I was unlucky enough to sit literally dead center of the car in the center of the row. You can't see crap. Like, there's the poles that, you know, hold the roof up to the car that are just completely in the way of everything. I'm having to like do this and do that to see around, to see any of the characters as they're, you know, talking on the screens and stuff. It's just, I think it's just I think it was a good idea on paper, especially when they made Kong. But it's not feasible. Like, it doesn't work. There's a very high capacity output ride, and I know that's what they're kind of going for, but I don't know. To me, it sucks. So, and I get what Universal's doing. Like, if you look at Spider-Man and Transformers, you know, there's one of each at each park, different, you know, they're different themes, so it makes you want to do both. It's the same with Kong and Fast and Furious. Same exact ride, pretty much the same layout almost, but it's just different themes. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised whenever they open up a 3rd or 4th gate, because I don't count Volcano Bay as a park, or a theme park. I feel like we'll probably, unfortunately, see versions of these rides there, but something completely different. But, you know, it's like, it kind of all goes based off of how it is. I don't know why, but for me personally, if they would have made this ride like Spider-Man or Transformers, I feel like it would fit way better with that kind of ride system as opposed to this crap where you're in a party bus being chased down by the FBI back to a party. Like, the storyline makes no sense at all for an original story. And, you know, like or Mario, you know, like Mario or Donkey Kong would even be a great fit, I think, if they had to, for a Spider-Man or Transformer style ride system. But these screen systems need to kind of, Universal, I'm sorry, but you're very creative. You're known for being creative and having amazing, intense attractions that are, you know, that I feel are better than Disney's. But you're kind of slacking. These last couple rides you had, they haven't even been like in the ballpark of awesome. They've just been like, it's a crowd eater. But, you know, I mean, I get you can't win them all, but, you know, slow down with the screens. You need to go back to having practical sets. That's what a lot of people want to see. There's nothing wrong with having some screen effects here and there, but don't make the whole ride a screen. Like, yes, I mean, originally your tagline was like, ride the movies. like, you're literally just I could sit at my house and shake around a little bit in front of my big screen, and I'm doing the same exact effect as I would going and riding these rides, and it doesn't break down. So, again, I was in technical rehearsal, but it's just, like, even the parts that did work, it didn't work for me. So, on a scale of 1 to 5, I give that ride a solid, honestly, 1.5. And that's even the little bit of the working part in the dome that I did see. It's just, it's not a good ride. It shouldn't even really be a ride. I mean, even the little bit of jarring that did happen, it's really more so because the vehicle's moving and it's only going like 2 miles an hour. So, I don't know. Like, that's just my thoughts on it. Everyone's going to be different. If you love Fast and Furious, it's going to be the most mind-blowing thing to you probably. The movies are just good to me. You know, they're okay. They're all watching, but I'm not, like, obsessed with them. I'm not obsessed with vehicles and cars and souped-up cars like a lot of people are. This might be the ride for you then. Me, it's just, I would much rather ride Kong than this any day. But that's just me. Is it worth riding once? Absolutely. It always is, you know. The queue line is really good, really themed. And I like how you can wait in the queue line. You can do the virtual line if you want. Or you can do express too. They give you all those options, and I hope that they implement that with future rides, you know, and I'm sure that they will. Because another thing too is I've noticed that they're making the queue line all ADA accessible, so pretty much you're waiting in line no matter what. Like, no one gets to kind of skip the lines or go do this or that anymore unless you're doing the virtual line experience. They're making a lot more fair, I would say, across the board. One thing that's a little annoying, just because we have a 7-month-old daughter, is the line is more than adequate enough to push a wheelchair through. And I think that if you have a child that is, I'm sorry, not a wheelchair, a stroller. And I think that if you have a child that is small enough that needs to be in a stroller, especially if the line is, you know, fairly long, I think that they should allow you to have the stroller and just make the child swap areas bigger to accommodate that. Because, you know, it's a little hard to have to carry your 7-month-old in the line for 30 plus minutes whenever they might need to take a nap or do this and do. I mean, I know that's kind of like a big request, but with so many families going, I think that that's something that they should look into for newer rides. And because the answer is just make the child swap area a little bit larger to accommodate the strollers as parents switch off. Because the queue line is more than, especially for this ride, more than accommodating enough for them. It's just the child swap area where they obviously can't fit because there's probably only like 15 seats in there. So that's just my thoughts. So, I mean, very well themed, very great ride as far as theming goes. Just the ride system itself and the platform is, yeah, it's a no for me. So that's my thoughts on Fast and Furious Supercharged. Now here's back to us leaving the park and going to get VooDoo Donuts. Peace.
You know what I almost brought in? I almost brought in a box of like, hey guys, I got like, oh yeah! You know, a veggie platter, you got from Walmart. Everyone was pissed. And I was like, no, that's too far. That's too far. That's a monster. I'm done with that.
We're doing it live. Though I don't know if this is worth 30 bucks. I don't know about that. I wish they'd have given us like 2 of him and 2 of those bad boys, but oh well. Look at those donuts. Look at them. Cut him in half. See what he looks like. So violent, but delicious. All right, so back there again real quick. So VooDoo Donuts, you know, very expensive. I thought that it was gonna be like $20 for a dozen, and it is. But for the donuts that you really want to all try, like the big ones, it's $30 for a dozen of those. And that's a little, I mean, like if you look at the prices they offer individually, they're not bad. Especially if you're just going there to get maybe like coffee and like 2 donuts to eat, you could probably do it for less than $7. So from that aspect, from being at a theme park, it's very cheap and a very good value. Just getting a dozen of them, it was like $30, $29 or something like that. And I think you can get a pass holder discount. I forgot to ask, so I paid full price. But my take is the donuts were good. My only gripe with the donuts, really, besides kind of the price, was the ones that have the cereal on top. The donuts were fresh, really good, but the cereal was clearly like days old or something. Like they were so stale and spongy. It was nasty. But I just feel like the Captain Crunch ones and I think the Fruit Loop ones, if it was fresh cereal, they would have been like the best donuts on the planet besides Krispy Kreme. But they weren't, so eh. But the Maple Bar, oh my God. Maple Bar donuts are my crack. And the one with the bacon that they had on there was just mind-blowing. So, but the donuts are good. They're not as, I'm a huge Krispy Kreme fan. They're not as good as Krispy Kreme, but I tell you what, they're way better than Dunkin' Donuts, because I really don't like Dunkin' Donuts, but they're a lot fresher. They're bigger, so you kind of get that value if you're paying $2 per donut. So I would say they're pretty good. I welcome them to City Walk. I think that it's a good fit. It's different. I don't think that I'd ever go in there and buy another dozen again, but if I have like a sweet tooth and I want something, it would be good. If you're staying on property and you need to get breakfast on the way in, it's a great fit there if you want something quick, and honestly something pretty cheap for being on theme park property. So that's my take on it. If you haven't tried them, go try them. The only way you're going to be able to tell for yourself is if you try it. Besides that, hope you guys liked the video. Hope you like my little rant / review on Fast Furious Supercharged. I don't know what we're doing next, but we'll be out there soon, so we'll see you guys later.